Excel sheets, the complete. Okay, so you might be having many doubts regarding this Excel sheet. That's why I tried to make it as a part by part so that you can easily understand it, and we can get to interact after the video. You can ask me questions. I think it will be very clear if I show it live and explain all together. So for that, let's start without wasting time. So I have here, you can see I have created a folder called grade 8 ICT Excel. So I'm going to open it. I've created already a pre-existing uh, file of Excel sheet. I'll be opening this. So first of all, we'll learn about what is cell and how Excel works with cells. Now Excel is a tool, we also say a spreadsheet, and it is used basically for calculations and formulas. Now here when you see, I have created a table. Now this is called a table. A table consists of a series of rows and columns. So the vertical arrangements or alignments what you are seeing, they are called the columns, and the horizontal ones, they are called the rows. So here vertically as in A, B, C, D, these are all the columns, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are the rows. So a mixture of row and column together is called as the cell reference. So if I am taking for example the cell A1, okay, so the representation of A means it's the column name and 1 means the row name. Together they makes the cell reference. Now suppose if I'm selecting this particular cell, you can see here the name of the cell is coming in the name box. The cell name is L3 because L is the column and 3 is the row. Just highlight on the particular row, you will get the row being selected, and you highlight on the particular columns, you'll get the column being selected. Clear? So this is how cells are represented in Excel. Now we have different functionalities on this. So you can see here I have created a table called daily collections, wherein I have taken some columns. You can give a column address here, what exactly this column specifies, and the data inside this. Now if I am going to calculate the total of the first name, that is row 3, right? If I'm going to calculate the entire thing, how I'm going to do this? So first, the cell where I want the result, I'll be clicking on that, then I'll give the equal to sign. Now after giving the equal to sign, now this gives a message clearly to the Excel that's okay, it's a time to enter the formula and I have to calculate that formula. Okay, so calculations can be of two types. One, it can be in the form of formula, another it can be as a functions. So predefined formulas are called functions, which are already there by the Excel and we just have to implement them. Whereas if we are using our user defined formulas, that is the formula defined by user, that is your user defined formulas. We can use both, any according to the usage. But if the data is quite small, it's better to use our formulas. But if the data is quite large and we have to do extensive additions, subtractions or any other operations on it, then we have to use the functions, which is also provided under the formula bar. You go to formula, you go to auto sums, and you will get all the basic functions which are used for operations. Now here we will just do what? We will just give equal to sign. So you can see in this address bar also the equal to sign has been highlighted, which shows that okay, now Excel is ready to intake the formula. So what I'll do is I will select the first cell, and as soon as I select the first cell, you will see a blue marching and kind of selected cells has been highlighted. So I will click on the next cell, first cell, then the next cell, then the third, then fourth, then fifth and sixth. So you can see a range of cells has been selected here. So C3 colon H3 gives a range of cell. Okay. Now if I have to total it, what I'll do, I'll just write sum and give a bracket. Okay. So sum is a functions, and C3 to H3, it is giving an instructions to the your Excel to calculate the functions. Now if I press enter, you can see the answer has been highlighted here. The total has come. So now what we'll do is, now we don't want to apply this same formula over and over again to each and every cells. We can extensively use a single formula, and just we can use the series way of formatting. We can drag the entire cells till where we want the results, and we can see here, boom, the answer has automatically been updated. How? You can see here the first result, as we had done earlier, we have written sum C3 to H3. Now when we go to the next cell, you see automatically Excel has updated its cell reference, the range of cells. So it is taking from here and it is continuing till here, and automatically it's calculating. So this is what we call cell reference. It's a very intelligent applications, Excel. They automatically do the calculations and they update it. So this is one way of doing the calculations. Okay. Now this is, we have done the calculations row wise. Now let us do the calculations column wise. Now what we'll do, we have to select the cell where we want the results, then we'll give the equal to sign. Now after this, I will select that particular cell and till the last cell just in one drag. Then I'll give the functions which I want to apply on it, that is the sum functions, and you can see here, and press enter button, you can see automatically the result has been updated. So same thing I will do in row wise, just drag it and you can see the data has been automatically updated. Okay, so this is quite easy when you are doing with less amount of data, dragging and dropping. If you are using having a range which is much bigger, then you have to give manually the cell range starting from where to where you want. Suppose from A till V you want, so you have to give A the cell reference A1 or A2 till V1 or V2, whatever you give, it will be done. Okay, now I want to select some particular cells. So what I'll do is, I will select A1 colon and I want till G16. Okay, and A1 till colon J16. So you can see this is a very quick handy tool of selecting the entire range of cells just by giving equal to sign, and from which cells to which cell I want to select, I'll just give with the cell range and automatically the entire table has been selected. So it's a quick way of selections. If you want to copy paste anything, just you have to give equal to sign and the cell reference starting and ending separated by colon, and the entire cells will be selected. So this is one of the selections tool. Next is this is a way of selections. Now suppose if I want this numbers to, it's an integer number, now I want a decimal number in place of this, so how I can go there? So here you see the way the numbers, these are data types, the numeric data types, whatever data we are giving, we can vary it according to our needs. So general means there is no specific type of data we are giving, it is randomly taking. If we want currency type of data with paisa part, or it's having the cents or the after the decimal, if you want to take, we can take in this format. And if you want number with decimal, we'll take in this format. If you want time, short, long, different formats of data are here, we can take according to need. It's better to take a currency format in the currency and the number in the decimal format, because sometimes what happens, we add the decimal part also. That time it will be very useful. Next is, now this is how we are doing the simple formulas. These are called simple formulas using the auto sum options, or we are using the normal additions tool. Now let's go for a little bit complex formula. For example, if I have to calculate the percentage, what I'll do. So I have taken the J column as a percentage column, and then I will apply the percentage here. So what I'll do is I will start with the equal to sign. Now the formula of percentage is, we have to mark this particular cells which we have to take a total, and then we have to calculate each cell, each person's data into 100. That will give me the percentage. It's a very simple formula, but we have to highlight it. So what I'll do is I will highlight this value, because it is the entire column value which I want it as a total. So I've highlighted this value, and this value I will be taking as the denominator of percentage. Now what I'll do is I'll go here and give equal to sign where I want the percentage. Now I want the percentage of Priya, the first name, and the total. The percentage would be calculated out of total. So what I'll do is I will use the cell called I3. Okay, so this will, you can see here, it's the blue rectangle has been highlighted, which means that I've selected a particular cell. Now I'll divide it by I15, which is my total of all the data, or total of all the students collections of fees. Okay, then what I'll do, I will give a bracket, because it will follow the simplifications rule. So divisions, as we know, in bracket will be performed first, then it will be, we have to find the percentage of it. Okay, so as I press the enter, you can see here the percentage is given 7.21. Okay, so this is my percentage based on the total. Now this percentage, I want the formula to be applied to the rest of the cells without manually giving the data. So what I'll do is I'll just put this corner, one black sign plus will appear, and we have to just drag it and let it go. So you can see it is coming divide by 0 error. Now why this error is happening? This is because when we are updating the cells with the same formula, these this particular cell is having some data. The first one we are giving manually, okay, it's taking. The next one, what is happening here, I4 cell is having a data. This is the I4 cell, but the next data, as per the referencing, it is taking the next cell which is not having any data. It is actually null, no value is here, right? So it is actually updating the next cells, because we have not given any restrictions to the cell reference. This is a relative way of cell referencing. Okay, so relative cell reference, what happens, if you give a data, automatically the formulas are updated, and the Excel, what it does, it automatically updates the cell referencings. Okay, it is taking next cells, row also, and in column wise also. So whatever cells we have given, it will update itself, means it will give the incremented value. So I3 first it has taken, next it will be I4, I5, I6. Similarly L15 if I have taken, I15 if I have taken, is the next updations will be I16, I17, but here there are no data. Okay, so datas here are null and void. We don't have any data out here. That's the results. It is giving divide by 0 error, which is a mathematical error. It is throwing an exceptional error which is called divide by 0 error. Now this error, how to rectify? Now here comes the concept of absolute cell reference. Now we know that any number divided by 0 is undefined, or it is not defined properly. This is a mathematics, right? So how to eliminate this? So just click on the cell where you have applied the formula. Just a simple trick. We have to apply a dollar sign beside before the cell reference which we want it to fix. So here the yellow highlighted cell I want it to fix. I don't want it to change. Only the particular data column wise will be changing, right? So Priya will be taken as total is 2099, then Ram will be taken 2979. Like this it will go on. These data will be incrementing, but the total amount will be fixed. So what I'll do is, so I'll click it here, and in front of this I will give a dollar sign, and also in place of 15, in before that I'll give a dollar sign. Now what is happening here, this particular cell I am fixing it so that it's not updated automatically. It will fix only these values will be updated, this cell's reference will be updated, this cell referencing will be fixed. Now when I press enter, you see the formula is calculating the same result. But when I am dragging for the rest of the cell, now you will see the data will be properly inserted and we are getting a proper result out of it. Now you see here I have just fixed the denominator part, which is the total, this cell, and numerator part I have kept it as relative cell reference, so that it is changing it, but this part is fixed. So I am getting a result as per our requirement, right? So this is what we called absolute cell reference. So what is the difference between relative and absolute? So relative cell reference, we are changing the formula automatically with the cell reference. Okay, it is updating quite automatically with the cell referencing. But absolute, we are fixing certain cells so that the result it's updated, but the formula remains the same. Here the formula is remaining the same, but the result is getting updated due to the relative cell reference. Okay, so this is the difference between relative cell reference and absolute cell reference. Hope I am clear. Next, let us take example of a different type of cell referencing, which is called as mixed cell reference. Now what is mixed cell reference? Mixed cell reference is a type of reference wherein we can mix either the absolute and relative both. So here I have taken one example where you can see I have created a table of multiplications, and I'm using in column I have using 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 type of numbers, and I wanted a multiplications table of 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 with the column name just varying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the row name I have kept as the number which I want. Okay, the table which I want the multiplications to be, that I have kept in the row, and in the column I have kept from 1 to 10 which I want the multiplications table of. Okay, now this type of multiplications table I will be using the mixed cell referencing. So how we are going to do that? Now you see here when I click on the first cell, the formula which I'll apply here is equals to $A6. That means I am fixing this particular row. I don't want to change this row. The 15 number should be same. Only when I'm multiplying with each multiplier, it is changing. The multiplicand is actually same. We are changing only the multiplier. So 15 into 1, 15, 15 into 2, 30, 15 into 3, 45. So what I'll do is I will just fix this portion same. So equals to $A6 will give me fixing this particular cell, and B4 is the part which I am varying with each column. Okay, so B4 is 1 I'm taking here, then 2, then 3, then 4. So it is updating. So what I'll do, I'll just first select it, then I will drag row wise and you can see the data is automatically updating. So if I click on each cells, you will see the upgradation is happening only in the multiplier part. The multiplicand part is fixed. Okay, so this is giving me the mixed type of cell referencing. Okay, another example I have cited. So 16 also, what we'll do, if I go to the 16 cell and if I want to find the 16's multiplications table, so I'll click on it. You can see the formula I've just added here, A8. A8 is 16, which I have fixed it, and B4 and B5, like this I'm changing the columns so that I get each data upgrading. Okay, so likewise if I do for 18, what I'll do, I'll just go here, I'll write equal to sign, and I will give here, just let me zoom it little bit. Okay, so here what I'll do, equal to, now I'll give here B12, so I'll give $B12 into, I'll give B4. So what it is doing, it is fixing my row, but the column is automatically incrementing using the cell reference, relative cell reference. Now when I press enter, you can see here B12. Okay, just a second, it's B12 I've given. No, it's not B12, it will be A12. Yeah, okay, press enter. Now you can see here I have given the data as 18, the multiplications table, 18 ones are 18 has come. Now what I'll do, I'll just drag it row wise, and you can see here the data is automatically incrementing and we are getting the exact result what we wanted. Okay, so this is one type of mixed cell referencing, because it is having both absolute cell reference and relative type. Now we are seeing another type of cell reference, the same example with a little bit of a different type. You will see here we are using an average edge. So what I'll do, what I have done here, I'm using each edge and I am changing the values. So P5 is the age of Arun. Okay, and this data will be incrementing, but I am fixing the total. So suppose if I'm using the total value here and I'm using a value called total, I want this total to be fixed. Okay, so this total, what I'll do is I'll click a sum and I'll fix this value. Now see here the value is actually 114 and this value I am going to fix. Okay, and I'm changing only the respective ages. So what I'll do is I'll just click on the cell where I want the result to be. I'll make P5 as relative cell reference and I will fix this value. Okay, so either I can give it like manually each cells. Okay, either I can give in this way, or what I can do is I will just go it here. I will delete the entire thing and I will give P5 divide by suppose P9. Okay, so I'll give P9. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I am fixing this value using cell reference. So here what I'm doing, I'm mixing everything, right? So I'm using absolute also and I'm using relative also. Now if I press enter, you can see here I'm getting a particular result. When I drag to the rest of the cells, automatically all my cells are updated. Okay, so now I think it's clear about the mixed cells types of cell reference. Mixed cell reference is a mixture of absolute and relative, which I've showed it. You can again see this video over and over again to get your concept clear. Okay, so next type of cell reference we'll be seeing as circular cell reference. Now this is a very important type of cell reference. Mostly people get confused about what is circular cell reference. Now let us do a circular type of cell referencing. I have opened a new blank sheet, you can see here, and here what I'll do is I will use a data like 1 and 2. Now observe here, when I'm going to add these two data, okay, it's very easy. If I want to add this two data, I will give equal to sign on the third column or the third you can say row, and here I will give the results. So how I can give? I can give either by manually giving B2 plus B3. This will also yield me the result. This is one type of doing. Another way is I can select the cell range. This is also one type of selections. Functions, using functions we can give. So we can give as B2 range to B3, right? And we can close the bracket. So this will give the result. Okay. Now what will happen here? 2 plus 1, we know it's 3. Now there a little bit of mistake I have done. For example, suppose if I do it instead of B3, if I give B4, now what will happen? When I press enter, you will see here it is showing me 0. Now why this 0 is coming? Should it be 0? No, it should not be 0. It should be 3. But we are actually taking the cell reference wrong. So what we are doing, we are taking these two cell reference as well as the third cell reference. Okay, so that is why it is showing the 0 error. It is not the correct result, right? So how to overcome this is called what we call the circular cell reference. Okay, it is going inside a loop. Now how to come out of this circular cell referencing? Now for that we have to go to accounts, options. We'll go to options and we will go for formula, and we will go is enable iterative calculations. If we do this, it will be done. Okay. Okay, so this is a cell reference. Okay, so now how to overcome this type of issues? Okay, I'm taking a cell new sheet. Now here what I'll do is I will use, suppose, a data here as, okay, I'm taking a total revenue. Suppose I want to find the revenue of a company. Okay, so good morning, students. Welcome to Excel Part 2 once again. So today we are going to study about some more detailings of Excel. So today we're going to see about the circular cell reference, and we are going to see the cell reference of one cell to another table or another worksheets. And also we are going to see how we can use formulas on text. That is a very important thing to look into. So let's not waste time. Let's start. So I'm opening a Excel sheet as usual, and here I'm going to write the heading as merge and center, and I'll write here formula on text. Okay, for example, now here what we'll do, here we are going to take two columns of table. One is for text, another one for book. Okay, so what here we are going to do, now we know that there are two types of data in Excel. One is numeric data, one is the string data. Now here we are going to concatenate, or we are going to add two strings together and using the formula. So first, suppose I am writing work in the first row, and here I am writing book. Okay, it's book. Okay, in the second row I am writing work sheet. In the third I am writing notebook, and the fourth I am writing notepad. Right, so as you can see here, we have taken two columns and we have tried to add here different names. Let's assume it as the first name and the last name. Okay, now is it pretty clear? I hope it's clear. Okay, now you can see here I've added the first name and last name. Now here we are going to concatenate the two books. So how we are going to do that? So it's pretty simple. Just click on the cell where we want the results to be, go to the formula bar, give equals to sign. Now here we are going to do A2 and, which is ampersand sign, B2. Okay, press enter. Now you can see here the two text has been added with the AND operator. AND operator is used for concatenations between the two strings. So here text is one string and book is another string. Using the cell reference, we have merged these two string and it is giving us a single word. So if you want to apply this formula to the rest of the cell, it's pretty simple. Just click on the corner of plus sign and drag it to the last, and you can see here the words have been pasted. So you can see first name, last name together, they are pasted here. Right, now there's another thing what you can do here. Now suppose we are having here without a space in between, this two text has been concatenated but there is no space in between. How to add a space on this? Now it's pretty simple. Just you have to go in the formula bar, and after the cell reference and the and sign, okay, just give double quotes, and again you give an and sign. Okay, so enclose the two cell reference with a double quotes in between. Okay, so this double quotes is considered as a space character, as a while characters for string concatenations, and it gives a space in between. Now if I press enter, you will see, okay, just a second, it's not changed yet. Okay, so here we'll give one space and press enter. Now you can see here I've forgot to mention here one space is required between the double quotes, so that it's is considered as a one space character. Now here you can see a space has been created between text and book, so it is giving a clear indications. Okay, this is a word which is formed from two different words, that is textbooks. So if you want the same formula to be applied to the rest of the cells, it's pretty easy. Just click on the corner and use the fill options to fill all the rest of the cells, and you can see it has given a gap in between the two words. Okay, so this is one. Another, now we are coming to the cell referencing. Now in cell referencing, here we are going to see the circular cell reference. It's a very important way of cell referencing, where we have to, it works on the iterations process. Okay, if by mistakenly, suppose I have taken a blank sheet here and I have entering some number 1, 2 and 3. Now if I'm going to add these three numbers in the fourth row, what I have to do, it's pretty simple. I'll be giving equal to sign and I'll select all the ranges from here to here, and if I give here sum, it's pretty clear that I'm getting the results, right? And press enter. Now if I want the results in this row with adding all the numbers including this row, then let's see what happens. So I'm giving equal to sign, then I'm selecting the range of cells from here including the cells in which I want the results. Now if I give here sum, now it will throw me an error, that is the 0. The result shouldn't be 0, but here it is coming 0. Now this is called circular reference. What is happening, it is creating a circular loop. If you include the same cell reference as you want the results to be, it will be in a circular loop. So how to come out of this loop? Now for example, here we are taking a different example. Suppose I have to calculate the net profit of a company. Now what is circular reference and how to solve it, we are going to see here. Now here suppose I am giving a profit as heading and these are the details. So first I will give you the revenue. What is the total revenue generated by the company? So profit will be in dollar if you want. Okay, so in terms of dollars we'll be giving the profit. Okay, and suppose the revenue of this company is around 3 lakhs rupees, right? Now some expenditure has been there with the salary and the rent. So these are the pretty expenses we have after the revenue. So we have to deduct these two expenses to get the actual net profit. So what I'll do is I'll write the salary part here. So some expenditure has been done to the salary by paying salaries to the employees. So it's an expense for the company. Now for the rent, what I'll do here, I'll write 10% rent we are providing on the net profit. So it has to be calculated based on the net profit. Now here is the catch. Now the next cell will be net profit cell. Okay, so we have to find, see these two datas are not given, so we have to find these two datas. First we have to find the net profit, then only we'll get the rent, because rent is 10% on the net profit. So how to find this? So first what we'll do, we'll select the net profit. So net profit will be is equals to your B2 minus B3 minus B4. So it should be actually the net profit will be 3 lakhs plus 24,000 minus 3 lakhs minus 24,000 plus the rent. Okay, so these are the expenses. After adding the expenses, we have to subtract from the revenue, then we'll get this net profit. Now let's check. I'm pressing enter. You can see I'm getting the net profit as 2,76,000 as the net profit. But Now coming to the rent part. Now rent part, how to calculate? It should be based on this net profit. So I'll give here equal to, now net profit, how to calculate it? 10%. So 10%, if I reduce it, it will be 0.1 into my B5. That is the net profit. So if I press enter, you see here 0. Why it is 0? Because this cell is having no data. That's why it is getting into the circular reference. It shouldn't be that. So how to overcome this circular reference? For that, we have to go to the file menu and go to the options. Now here we go to the formula bar and we click on the enable iterative calculations with the maximum iterations as 1 and maximum changes as 0.001, and workbook calculations will be in automatic mode. So now if I click on OK, you can see here the data is already calculating as one iterations it is calculating, and it is giving me the rent. Okay, so this is how the circular cell reference works. Thank you for today. That is what we are going to cover in this part. So hope we'll meet in the next part.